Shine Las Vegas. My name is Maria and my co-host today is not here, Chris Cook. Shout out to Chris Cook. And by the way, Rise and Shine is always about the events, the news, good news, positive news, and the weather in Las Vegas. That's what we talk about every Rise and Shine episode. And today, or I want to say that one of the biggest and good place to see here in Vegas is the mansion. It's the Heartland Mansion located at the downtown Las Vegas actually. Well, let me tell you something about the mansion. The mansion is one of the last true pieces of Las Vegas history. At just under 31,000 square feet, Heartland Mansion is the largest private residence ever built in the city. The mansion offered as an extraordinary location for wedding reception, birthday party, anniversary, or corporate event, and a lot more. Heartland has hosted some extraordinary events, including book launches and photo and film shoots. It was used for the motion picture Casino, starring, excuse me, starring Robert De Niro, Sharon Stone, and Joe Pesci. And Celine and the Muppets music video All I Need Is Love. They can, they can coordinate. They can coordinate every service you could possibly need back in the day, including event location, invitations, catering, or food and beverages. They can also arrange your transportation, audio, video, live entertainment, custom linens, and award-winning floral design with Larry Hart, with the late Larry Hart. Visitors of Las Vegas were captivated by the history and mystic that fills this opulent home. Heartland Mansion is truly one of those once in a lifetime experience. And today, I have the honor to have one of the owner, Mr. Garry Hart. Welcome, Garry.
Hi, thanks for having me, Marie. It's an honor to be on your show today. You look beautiful as always today.
Thank you.
Thanks for
You
having me.
look at you. You're always actually fabulous, and what do they call that? Like a blooming? No, not blooming. Like when it's shiny, kind of thing.
Very sparkly, very fun.
Yeah.
I don't know about that part, but
Fabulous.
Oh, fabulous.
Flab.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
You're fabulous.
Thank you.
Yes, you're marvelous.
But anyways, Garry, we have whole things to talk about because you are such, you had a very interesting life, I believe.
Yeah, our family had a very fun life in the music industry, and like you mentioned, Hartland Mansion. We bought that about 40 years ago, and we actually purchased it to make it a music school, and the city of Las Vegas wouldn't allow us to do that. So we ended up moving all of our residents, because we had a home in Detroit, Michigan, LA, and Nashville, Tennessee, and we moved to Las Vegas. And we ended up moving into Hartland Mansion. And then we got it rezoned where it was commercial, and we had a permit where we could actually live there. But it was Hartland Mansion Museum in Wedding Chapel. It was Frank Sinatra was there, Engelbert Humperdinck, Elvis stayed there. We had a big party for Ginger Rogers many years ago, and then, like you said, we had the movie Casino with Robert De Niro and Sharon Stone was filmed there. They were great, and it was so funny. I have to tell you this little story, if it's okay, Maria.
It's okay, yeah, go ahead.
It was a funny thing. My mom was this cute little 5-foot little Italian, and so the production company, Paramount Pictures, came in to look at the venue, to look at Heartland Mansion. And she told they wanted her to shut it down for 2 or 3 weeks so they could film their movie, and she gave them the price of what it would cost. So they said, no, that's too much money. So Martin Scorsese, the famous producer who did Goodfellas and Casino, all those movies, he fell in love with my mom. He started walking around. They were just two peas in a pod. They're about the same height. They're so cute. And so Martin Scorsese told the production people, whoever's part of the treasury, he said, "You pay Mrs. Hart whatever she wants." He said, "We're filming this movie here at Heartland Mansion," because he loved the vintage Vegas aspect of the mansion. It really was a piece of history. And so anyway, that's kind of a fun little story of that. But we've had everybody from Willie Nelson, Michael Jackson, everybody in the world's been there. They've filmed Gene Simmons from Kiss did a video there. CeeLo Green, as you said, the Muppets. It goes on and on. We did many charity events at the mansion. We did a lot of religious things. We've done concerts there. And, you know, I was very sad after my mother and brother passed away. My dad, all three of them passed away.
Tony passed away too?
Yeah, my mother passed away in 2014. My brother passed in 2015. And what my brother did was he borrowed a lot of money. And I kept the mansion about another 3 years. But I was paying about 18% interest on a $1.2 million loan that my brother did. I know mobsters that would give you a less interest rate than that. You know, he should have talked to me. But anyway, I told my brother, don't worry about it. We'll either sell it or refinance. But long story short, I ended up selling. It was a very difficult situation and time for us, but I got everybody paid. The attorneys, I'm still in probate court with about my mother's estate, fighting these attorneys. I fight them in 2016.
It's a pain in the butt.
They're horrible. This state, I've got some very nice judges and very nice attorneys, but there's a few attorneys that are really not good, to say the least. So I'm still continuing.
How are you hanging on with all these things?
You know, it's a constant battle, but you know, when God is on your side, you just keep plugging along. You know, I've been a musician since I was 8 years old, playing the drums.
And we're gonna talk about that on the other half. I just want to actually I know that the Hartland Mansion is technically not your whole life, but you grow up on that mansion.
Quite a bit, yeah. We were there a lot.
Yeah, that was like, when did you guys purchase it?
Let me go back. Well, that's a long time ago. It was about 1978, I think, is when it was purchased. And then we started doing work in 1979 on it to restore it. It was 2 homes joined in the middle. And then there was a fire, and then we restored that.
Wow.
And then after the fire, we made rooms bigger. And there was 12 safes in that property.
Yeah, and
12, buried safes.
And,
but we didn't find any money.
And if you no money in there, shucks.
I think somebody else already got it.
But
we looked.
Yeah, the most amazing part of this mansion was hand glued by the late Garry Hart, Garry's brother. And if you go on the the interview by
Tony and Larry on the CBS morning show.
Yes,
it's Bill Geist, the morning show.
Yeah, Bill Geist.
It's a great video. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you
CBS.
go and check on that on the CBS, you will see how Larry actually explained everything, how he did this and that, and it's just amazing. You cannot believe it how you guys restore that mansion and make it so so elegant and like Bill Geist. How you call it?
Bill Geist, yeah.
Bill Geist said
the guy that interviews from CBS Morning Show.
Yeah, it's just like you are. No, he said Liberace is laughing at you. I'm smiling right now.
Smiling, yeah.
Yeah, but anyway,
that was a great interview. And to go back to the root of what you're saying, my brother Larry was on the Hee Haw show. It was, and that opened up a lot of doors for us musically. We were always in the music industry. We were on different record companies. MGM, my father owned Genesis Records. Then later, we were on Capitol RCA, and then later we were on Michael Jackson's record label, MJJ Music, Sony. My brother wrote the black version of Cinderella called Sisterella. But going back to the root of Larry and the glue guns and the glue, he was a very ill, with asthma, and so, but he could sing. He was very talented. My mother played 17 instruments. My brother played synthesizers and piano. My sister plays piano.
Yeah, you grew up with musical family.
We're third generation musicians and contractors.
Yes.
And so anyway, what happened back at the root of how Larry became gluing all the bling and all the Swarovski crystals was we would be traveling in our 40-foot Silver Eagle bus, performing with all these big names, you know, the Fifth Dimension, the Osmonds, the Jackson Five, to name a few, many, many stars, Tony, Orlando, and Dawn. We would play all these state and county fairs, and we'd play Disney World, Hershey Park, Pennsylvania. We performed all over the world. So while Larry was in the bus, he would make shoes, you know, like
Yes.
we'd buy the shoes for Dolly Parton, for Ginger Rogers, and all the stars, Elton John, everybody you can imagine. And it was something he could do in his spare time, and he got better and better at it. And then he made a beautiful, if you go on my Facebook page, Garry Hart with 2 R's in Gary, you can see we posted Engelbert Humperdinck. Larry made a piano bench for Engelbert in these beautiful crystals. I mean, I don't know how many hours he put in it, but Jason Dorsey and Scott Dorsey are the sons, and then of course beautiful Louise Dorsey. Those are all the kids of Engelbert Humperdinck, because their real name is Dorsey. But anyway, Engelbert managed my brother. My brother wrote movie soundtracks, hit records for many, many people. My mother wrote a hit song for Johnny Cash. Mother and Larry, when we lived in Nashville, we always had 2 different homes, one in Detroit, one in Nashville, one in LA, then we moved to Vegas. But they did a lot of writing for Johnny Cash, and I don't know if you remember, you're probably too young to know, but there was the Johnny Cash TV show back in the 60s.
I think I heard about it.
Yeah, you have to research.
I
It's a great
yet.
show. Everybody was on this television show, from rock and roll bands, Kenny Rogers, Three Dog Night. I mean, you name it. Anybody that was in the music industry was on the Johnny Cash show. Well, my sister was the talent coordinator. She's very young, beautiful. So my sister does Linda Hart. She's done 250 movies, television, Broadway, Carnegie Hall, so on and so forth.
Yeah, well, I love
Sorry
your
to go
sister,
on and on.
Yeah, Linda Hart,
Linda
actually performed on my most favorite movie, Catch Me If You Can, on the Broadway.
Yeah. Yes, Broadway, yes.
Yes, so I just
And Kid Shorty with
and
John
I was
Travolta.
like, oh
Yeah.
my God,
Yeah, she did
I
everything.
need to meet your sister.
You have to meet Linda, yeah.
Yeah,
She's
but
wonderful.
anyways, you know, it's really funny because everything that I wrote down right here, you already kind of mentioned it, and it's good. No, it is. I love when when my guest he starts actually reading my mind. You know, I mean, it's kind of like
Great minds think alike.
Yeah, and you make my job easier, right?
Well, thank you.
Yeah, but anyways, so I just wanna actually that's about this part, and I've been thinking about this to ask you this since Wednesday, but I said I'm gonna ask it on the show. Because the Heartland Mansion, by the way, they started demolishing it.
Yeah, it's
because-
gone. Yeah, we sold it to another individual.
I think the
gentleman by
records
the-
in LA. Something.
He lives in someplace in northern California. But anyway, I sold it to him because I had to get everyone paid off, and we're still trying to close my mother's estate after all these years.
Oh gosh.
And just a nightmare with the attorney. But anyway, good things are coming. And what happened was, after I sold it to him, then he kept it for several years. He was doing bad things. They're serving alcohol with no liquor license, topless parties. They pretty much they shut him down. It was called the Mansion 54, and he kind of gutted it. He was not a good person. He did a lot of shenanigans. He kept some of our things, which later we had to get a lawsuit and get my mother's and brother's ashes.
Yeah.
A lot of it. We're still working on that. I can't talk about it.
But anyways, how did you feel? You know, when you actually
Well, he sold it. Well, of course, you know, it was a business decision because I was paying all this interest. I was paying over $10,000 a month interest only from the loan that my brother had gotten from a unlicensed mortgage company in Nevada, but they're licensed in California. So long story short, we sold it to this into Mansion 54. Mansion 54 kept it for several years. He was a Ponzi scheme guy, did a lot of shenanigans, and they ran him out of town, and he sold it. And now you're not going to believe this, but the adult bookstore owner bought it. Lonnie Dean Love bought it and then bought the motel that was owned by Zach Bagans, who's a friend of mine. He does a television show, Ghost Adventures. Well, he has that haunted museum down the street from us. Well, he sold. So
he bought that.
Lonnie Dean Love bought 3 properties: Heartland, the motel from Zach Bagans, and then already owned the adult bookstore. And now that's on the property. Now the property is 3.6 acres. It's now listed for $34 million. But you never know what's going to happen. I mean, we actually have, my family and I have blueprints to build like the Heartland Hotel and Casino. And I have some individuals that have the backing. They have the gaming license. I have a liquor license, so that's a good marriage.
Yes.
So we're looking at different locations possibly for doing that. And of course, once we get that going, we'll build a little studio in there for you, and we could build a beautiful theater so we can do
Well,
our
that
shows.
is, here's the deal, okay?
Future.
Few years
Keep us in
back,
your prayers.
few years back, here's the deal. We actually talk over the phone. I don't know if you remember. We talk over the phone, and Maria, what can we do together? You said that, and then he ghosted me, and then I found out he sold it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, maybe that's the reason why. So, but now, we reconnected. He came to me one day on one event, and he is like, hey Maria, here's my card. And I look at it, I said, Garry, I have your phone number on my phone. It's still in my phone. And he's like, oh. And you probably didn't recognize me.
Yeah, well, then once Jerry Reed from the symphony, Jerry Reed, he's a concert master,
yes,
dear friend of ours, and he goes to Rome, Italy, 2 months out of the year. They bring all the best musicians to Rome, Italy, and Gerald Reed from the symphony is one of them. And I want to, we need to do some events with him.
Yes.
I am looking for different venues to do events. I want to do like the Heartland Supper Club. We'll talk about that.
Yes.
There's a lot of different exciting things we can do.
Yeah, he is actually planning
so
many things. But you know what? Let's get back to your what you were mentioning earlier, the hee-haw.
Oh yeah, my brother on that television show. That was a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Are you going to believe we were making, would you be surprised to know, Maria, we were making back in the 1970s.
And a lot of people knows about the hee-haw.
Oh yeah, it was 65 million viewers. It was very popular. It was a very funny show. Many stars came from that.
Are you
that
part
show.
of the cast or?
No, Larry was in the cast.
Larry
I did a
is
few
in the
things
cast.
for them, but Larry was a
But you
regular.
traveled with them.
Yes.
But you traveled
with
with
the
them.
family band. Yes.
Yes.
We traveled all over the world with the band, and that opened a lot of doors for us. And so back in the 1970s, we were making anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 up to 10,000 a show. Back when money was worth something.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That might be worth what, 50,000 now?
Probably, because just to give you an idea, back in 1975, a brand new Cadillac Eldorado Baritz went for like $13,500, and we're making 5,000 to 10,000 a show. So that's like, what is a Cadillac now? 40,000, 50,000. The electric cars are even more. Yeah, but we did very well, and we invested in a lot of property. A funny little story, not to sidetrack you or anything, but my mother was so adorable. My sister left us when she was 23, left the band and went to work with the New Christie Minstrels and with Roy Clark and all these other artists. And Bette Midler, she was with Bette Midler for 15 years. So my mother is so hilarious. She always had a nose for investments in property. So she bought these 2 dumpy houses on a place called Music Row in Nashville, Tennessee. Guess where it was behind? The Country Music Hall of Fame.
Wow.
My mother said, because we're going there every summer, we're cleaning up all the weeds, and we said, Mom, why did you buy these dumpy houses? Our mother was so adorable. She's a text from Dallas, Texas, entrepreneur, and she said, boys, she said, I'm investing in our future. And later, she sold that property to the Country Music Hall of Fame, and they expanded their building because of the Hart family. Yeah. And so we reaped the rewards of that. Mom was very smart. That's what she found. Heartland. Yeah, it was actually my brother Larry Hart.
She has that intuition.
Oh, she with the property. She bought it. I'll tell you why we moved to Vegas real quick, if I may.
Well, that's one of my questions, so go ahead.
Okay. So why we moved? So we were here to do a show at the MGM Grand. We were on our way. We're moving from Nashville, Tennessee, because our record contracts were out there, and we were going to LA for another record deal. And Mom bought a couple of condos at Regency Towers at the Las Vegas Country Club. Well, back in 1976, that was a high-rise condominium. It's still there. And all of the mobsters, from Mo Dalits to everybody you can imagine, lived in that building. Wow. And some dear friends of ours, Hank and Barbara
That's by Desert Inn and
it is. Maryland Parkway. It's a Las Vegas Country Club. It's a beautiful place. And so back in the day, that was the place to live. We ended up buying 4 condos there. And then Mom purchased a home on Queens Courtyard. We call that Mini Heartland, that had a staircase and an elevator. But the point is, that Larry Hart, my brother, was a bad asthmatic. And we had prayed for many years. We believe in God, and my mother and father were ministers from Dallas, Texas. We had a 5,000 member church in Detroit, Michigan. So we have that Motown connection too. That's where I learned how to play the drums.
Oh,
I was
wow.
8 years old in the
Yeah.
church.
He's
So I have
playing the
kind of a
drums.
soul. I had like a soul feel to my
Yes.
drum. So anyway, this is just a miracle. What happened was my brother could breathe in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And so our miracle came that we were praying to God for many years that Larry would be, he was a very bad asthmatic, second worst in the country, they said. They used my
Wow.
brother for many medical treatments and like a guinea pig,
Mm-hmm.
really. Many of the medications you have today, they were treating him with, testing him on my brother.
Oh my
So
God.
long story short, we moved to Las Vegas. We were fixing up the condo. We were on our way to Los Angeles. My brother lost 75 pounds because the water started coming off of his body. So the miracle came by moving to Vegas. He started taking karate lessons from Mike Stone, which is Elvis Presley's and Priscilla Presley's karate instructor. I don't know if you know Michael Stone, but he was a very interesting guy, dear friend of ours, and he ended up getting us jobs in China and Hong Kong because he knew everybody, you know, with the. And mother knew Elvis Presley. I got to see Elvis several
Well,
times.
that's my other question
Yeah.
to you. So I actually read an article saying that Elvis Presley he stayed like
He
like
did.
it's his like he has that room, right?
Right, the Elvis room.
The Elvis room, and we did some filming in that Elvis room, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
And so did you met Elvis Presley personally?
Many years ago, and he was just dynamic. When we got to see him perform at the Las Vegas International,
Yes.
just like the movie. If you've seen the Elvis movie, which is spectacular,
Yes.
most of that stuff is true. I don't know if all of it, but I'd say 90% everything in that movie is accurate. You're gonna love this. We actually had my brother Larry Hart was 14 years old, and I was 10, and my mom was so hilarious. We actually had my brother's birthday party, his 14th birthday, at Graceland in Memphis, Tennessee.
Wow.
At Elvis's place, and just my mom was just such an amazing, and my father too. Of course, they got divorced, which we were sad about that. Dad remarried. I have a younger brother, John, who's a colonel in the Air Force, from another mother, because my dad
Yes.
remarried. And I have 5 incredible nieces and nephews. I have a beautiful son, 21 years old, Daniel Hart.
Does he sing too?
He plays violin, drums, and guitar, so the musical
Wow.
gene is in the family.
Wow.
And he's in the United States Coast Guard. He's got 1 more year. Girls, he's single, he's handsome, much taller, better looking than me. He's Filipino, Chinese, and Japanese, and European, because we're Italian and we're
Yes.
from Europe. So he's Eurasian, I call it. But he looks like Keanu Reeves. I sent you a picture of him.
Yes, yes,
We'll have to
it's
find
so
him a beautiful
handsome.
girl. Yeah,
we
he's
gotta
going to move
find
back
it.
to Las Vegas.
Yeah,
he
there's
wants to
a
go
lot
to
of beautiful
college.
girls
Oh
here.
my God.
But
He's got a
they-
fan club.
Yeah, that's
We got to
good.
find him a good girl. But anyway,
But
Daniel, a shout out to Daniel Hart there,
Hi,
Porter on Michigan.
Daniel.
He'll see this. Don't get mad at me, okay?
But anyways,
Yes.
okay, so you were traveling for how many years when you were
Oh.
an Ihiha?
Well, before that, we were traveling, doing performances all over the world. Before the Hee Haw, that's when it opened up the doors to start doing bigger events. Bigger.
So do you have that mansion already by that time?
No. We didn't get. No. We.
That is before the mansion.
My mother and father were traveling back in the 1940s.
Okay.
They had a band called the Texas Musical Hearts.
Well, we're gonna talk about
Yeah.
all your musical thing. We are going on the break. I told you guys, he is a very interesting man. That's why I was like,
You're too
he wanted me to interview him for 15 minutes. I said, no, your story is not a 15-minute interview. But anyways, guys, we're gonna go on a quick break. I know we're gonna hear a lot more with Garry Hart, so please don't go away. We will be right back. Welcome to social media shows. Have you been watching social media shows recently? Of course you have. We have been live streaming for 4 years across social media platforms. We produce over 70 shows with over 1,000 episodes. In the process, we've helped over 100 creators realize their dreams and start their own show. We give platforms to promote your business. If you are an artist, if you have an event, if you are entrepreneurs, or if you have a story. If you haven't done it yet, go ahead and subscribe and follow us on major social media platforms. And if you have a great idea of a show, join us. Social media shows can help you produce and live stream your own show. Let us help you make your dream become a reality.
Hello, everyone. This is Joseph Skoda with Social Media Shows. Well, I thank all of you for your support through these last several years, and it's been a lot of fun. We've given people a voice they never had before. Now, Social Media Shows is always collaborating with our veterans to help them do things and help out the veterans who are struggling today. And we teamed up with GI Connections, connecting veterans with resources. So please consider helping and donating to this great cause because we're always doing things for veterans. So GI Connections, Social Media Shows, and you is what makes the world a better place. Once again, Joseph Skoda, proud United States Air Force veteran.
Hey, welcome back to the Rise and Shine Las Vegas. And we are so lucky to have Garry White here, the previous owner of the historical Heartland Mansion. As you can see, you see in the previous segment, we talk about all about Heartland, how these exciting things that you connected with a lot of big people like Elvis Presley, Engelbert,
Yeah.
and different artists in the music
Stars, a lot
industry.
of stars, yeah.
And it's not just that they connected to these musical, music artists, but they are a family of musicians.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with Hee Haw. We already kind of like touched some briefly about Hee Haw, but I wanna go deeper into this. So Hee Haw, you guys travel around the world with the whole family, actually.
Yeah, we were.
Mom and dad?
Dad had left the band. He was there in Detroit, Michigan, and he bought us 3 different buses through the years. But the last bus we had remodeled was a 40-foot Silver Eagle Continental Trailways bus that had 3 bedrooms in it. And this is kind of a funny thing. Back in the day, when the microwaves first came out, our first microwave, it was the smallest one you could get, was about this big. And that we thought that was so amazing to have a microwave oven on board the bus. And we had music on their television, everything. But anyway, we traveled all over the country with a bus. But then, of course, we would fly. We went to Israel. We went to Greece. We went to Europe. We went to Canada, Mexico. We would perform on cruise ships. We loved it because we'd get paid, Maria, to perform on the cruise ships. It was a lot of fun. So then we went to Los Angeles, and when we had our home in LA, going back to the beginning, I actually got to sing my first gig. I was 5 years old. I got hired by Disney Records. My mom was hilarious because she was a stage mom, getting us all work. My brother was on the Lauren Green Show, Man from U.N.C.L.E. He was on all these television shows as a young man, a young boy. And I did some of that work too. And we Beverly Hills, we did fashion shows. My mother and my sister were so gorgeous. I say that humbly. They were so beautiful. People always thought that they were sisters because they looked, they dressed alike. They're just hysterical. So
How many in your family?
Well, there's my mom, my dad, my sister Linda, Larry, Gary, and then I have a half brother John from another mom. So there's 5. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And then also my new wife Lily. I've been with her for 5 years. She works at Bellagio. She's in charge of VIP services. She checks in all the billionaires, all the stars, and she's so hilarious. And she has a beautiful daughter. I have a beautiful stepdaughter, Brittany, and 2 gorgeous step grandkids, Bella and Sean. I got to shout out to them, 6 and 7 years old. Hi, Bella and Sean. Okay, they love to see that stuff.
So what are you planning moving forward?
Well, I've got a lot of irons in the fire. I've been building for a developer back on the East Coast. I've been commuting back and forth. Mm-hmm. And I've been building 9,000 square foot homes back there. Not for me, but for a developer and for people. I'm just the worker bee. I'm a project manager, but I physically work too. And so I'm planning on doing more stuff up on the East Coast, but I fly back there for a month or two, then come back. Got to see, happy wife, happy life. Got to say hi to my wife. And so anyway, I was going to tell you a story while I was back east. My wife took her daughter and some friends to see Bruno Mars several times because she knows everybody because she helps them. She knows everybody. She knows more stars than we ever met, than we ever thought. She's amazing. Lily Hart is amazing. So long story short, I said, honey, I'm back east. I said, I want to see Bruno Mars and Silk Sonic. And so when I got back to town, she got us incredible seats, second row, me and her brother, and Nick Lozano's her brother. Lily's dad used to cook for Frank Sinatra.
Wow.
The history just goes on and on and on.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna actually
we got to see
do
Bruno
a
Mars
lot.
though. I got to see him. And
Yes.
Silk Sonic, we got to go sometime. He is amazing.
I want to see
Great
him.
show.
I love
There's
him.
another show I'd like to mention if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's at the Sahara Hotel. I'd love for you to join us, you and a friend, whenever you'd like to come. It's at the Sahara Hotel, starring Michael Shapiro and Joe Shapiro. That's his lovely wife. She's a showgirl in the show. He's a guitar player. And it's called Reckless in Vegas. It is, Maria, it's probably one of the best shows I've seen in Las Vegas in years because I love the Cirque du Soleil shows, but after you've seen them 9, 10 times, you want to see something fresh and new. The music is phenomenal. Everything there is 5-star. I think you'll really enjoy it. Maybe after you see it, then you can tell your audience more about that.
Yes, I would love to do that. But anyways, if they want to get in touch with you with all the projects, where
well,
where
on Facebook, they can messenger me on Facebook. It's Garry, Garry. Last name is Hart, Hart, and I'll give it my phone number. I text, call anybody, anytime. It's 702-408-1889. And like I said, I'm back and forth a lot, but we have some exciting things coming up. I brought, as we were talking about when we were off camera for a moment, I have a relationship with the National Football League alumni. These are all the retired football players and cheerleaders for all 32 NFL football teams. So I hosted parties at the mansion, of course. That's how I met a lot of these individuals, and honored to do it. And so I brought them, the National Football League alumni, to the Sahara Hotel because I went to see Michael Shapiro's show. It was so amazing. And I thought, oh my God, this is a great place to host these parties for 1,000 and 5,000, and I'd love for you to be involved too. It's for charities, and they'll be having these parties there at the Sahara Hotel. The contracts have been signed. I didn't make money from it. It's not about the money. It's about helping the charities, helping and doing something good for the fans, for our local community. And we'd love for you to have your show or something. Sometime you could do some interviews with these good-looking football players and the beautiful cheerleaders.
Yes, I would love to do that.
It's a lot of fun. But the Sahara Hotel opened their doors. It's Alex is the owner. He's a fantastic guy. I think that he just got the hotel. He's remodeled it. He's got another project he's doing. I mean, Alex is amazing. When you go to see the Sahara Hotel, it's one of the premier vintage hotels, but it's modernized now with all these great restaurants.
Yes.
It's just we have to go. We'll take the wife and everybody will go there and have dinner and go see dinner and a show.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. But anyways, thank you so much, Garry. You are so wonderful, and I would love you to come back when you come back in town.
Okay.
Yeah, or sure. Whenever you're ready, because
you can fly to the East Coast and come see me.
Yes.
We'll do it like virtually. I don't know.
But anyways, thank you so much, and thank you so much, viewers. But before we go, actually, I want to show you guys my experience at the Heartland Mansion, where actually I want to dedicate this video. I haven't shown it actually. I kept it in my hard drive for a long time, and I just found it recently. This is when the late Antonio Carnote was actually serenading me on the
piano?
At the piano at the Heartland.
Wow.
Yeah, Heartland Mansion. So I just
This is after we sold it, I think, yes? Or
no,
before.
Well, yes,
okay,
when
beautiful.
I was there. So
I can't wait to see it.
I would like to actually show you guys this one because it's just so Amazing. At Heartland Mansion, and Mr. Antonio Carnote from Spain will be playing a song for us.
Hello, my friends. This is Antonio with the beautiful Maria from the Hartland Mansion. We're having a beautiful time here. It's a beautiful place, an exclusive place in Las Vegas, and I would love to play a very famous and beautiful Spanish song for you.
Thank you. Thank you. So here you go. That's Mr. Antonio Carnote, and he's going to be playing a really good song for us. So stay tuned. Amazing.
Thank you, Maria.
Amazing. Good job. Yay. Come on, viewers, say good job.
Thank you so much. With all my love. Thank you so much.
What's the next song that you're going to be playing?
Called Granada, and it's a beautiful song. It's talking about a beautiful city from Spain called Granada. Hope that you enjoyed it. And it's...
That's amazing. What's the title of the song?
That's a song called Granada. The composer was Agustin Lara, and it's a beautiful song about a wonderful city in Spain called Granada. I would recommend you to go to that beautiful city.
Oh my God!
Yes,
I would love to be there.
It's
yes,
wonderful.
I would love to be there. Where Mr. Antonio Carnote actually, what do you do? Go ahead and let everybody know.
I would love to invite you to my concert next coming in May, the third week of May here in Las Vegas. We are having a beautiful concert, and we are supporting the new film that I am doing, a film about, I just came from Los Angeles doing the auditions. So it will be wonderful. So I will let you know about. Follow me on my website, Antonio Carnote, like the city in Spain. Antonio Carnote. It will be in a month here in Las Vegas.
Amazing, Antonio. I'm so honored to be here with you while you're playing your music.
Thank you so much.
You know, I cannot sing, but sometimes I sing on the shower.
But you are so beautiful. You have more than singing, which is your beauty, your eyes, your smile.
Oh, thank you. Well, Mr. Antonio Carnote will be our next guest soon. this week is not going to be happening, but in a few weeks to come,
Thank
I
you,
would
yes.
love you to be in my studio
Will be
with my
wonderful.
show.
Will be wonderful. To all the viewers, thank you so much. My best wishes, and looking forward to see you soon. Enjoy life. Life is wonderful.
Yes. Well, the next song that we're going to be playing is Rachel's.
Yes.
What
This
do you-
is from the musical The Phantom of the Opera, and I would
Oh.
like to do two numbers from The Phantom of the Opera, Maria.
Amazing.
So let me play for you.
All
this.
right.
To Maria, to Rachel, and to all of you, especially to the girls that I watch in this beautiful, beautiful view. Girls. Bavino Caro,
Amazing.
Puccini. Thank you so much.
That's
And
beautiful.
looking forward to see you very, very soon. Thank you so much, Maria.
Thank you, Antonio. It's a pleasure, sweetheart.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
I'm glad I met you, and I'm glad actually I have to video your songs. That's amazing. It's an honor.
It's my honor and looking forward to see you very, very soon. Salamat, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Maria.
Is there any other song that Rachel wants, or that's it? She
Well,
said two.
Well, she asked me the songs of John Lennon.